2016 has been a devastating year for many, including several police officers and their family members after cops were shot and killed in various attacks, some of which were ambush-style attacks. Now, what we hear and see in the media quite a bit is that there is this war on police officials, and police being targets of these killings is worse than ever before. But what do the numbers indicate? Now, while these deaths are certainly tragic, if you look at the trends and you look at the numbers over the long term, you see that 2016 isn't actually worse than previous years. So let's get to that. So the two events highlighted a year in which violence against police repeatedly dominated a news cycle. A total of 62 officers were deliberately shot and killed while on the job in the U.S. and Puerto Rico this year. 2 other officers, though, died after being intentionally struck by suspects in vehicles. So altogether, so far, the unofficial number is 64 police officers who have been killed in the line of duty. Now, that is a lot of cops. And as tragic as it is, you look at the long-term trends and you see that 2016 isn't the worst year. So 1973 was actually the peak year where 134 officers were killed. And the number that we're currently at right now is actually similar to the number back in 2011. Yeah. So 2011 was the last time that we hit a number as high. So I'm bringing this up because I think there's a lot of misinformation out there and there's a lot of fear-mongering. And so we want to make sure that everyone has the right information, the right statistics and data. Now, with that said, it's still disastrous. And I think that, certain protections need to be taken for cops and certain reforms need to be made to prevent police brutality as well.
And also to put it into context that back in the 70s, the 173 cops who died, understand that in the 70s, the U.S. population was far lower than it is now. There were far fewer cops working than there are now. So the disparity between the current high levels but far lower than the 70s is even worse when you think about how much the country has grown in the past 40-plus years.
Yeah, context is super important. Did a similar story about terrorism. Terrorism in Europe now feels horrible, right? You see those poor people in Germany during the Christmas shopping, they get run over by the truck, etc. You saw it happen in Paris, Belgium. In the 1970s, terrorism in Europe was far, far higher. But it was less hyped up. And back then it was, people talked about it. There was the IRA, there's the Basque separatists, there was all these people. But it seemed like, oh, it's a family fight, right? People were dying, people were blowing up. Mm-hmm. It didn't seem like it was a terrible time, right? So now that doesn't make any of these attacks today, whether it's the terrorist attacks in Europe or the police killings, any better. So it's just as horrific. You hear the victim stories, etc. We're just trying to give you context. So when someone does a misinformation campaign like, oh my God, it's like the worst it's ever been, and so we've got to take drastic action, and they try to scare you into going in the wrong direction, right. Just have the context and make rational decisions. That doesn't mean you shouldn't act. You should. The question is, how do you act to prevent these deaths?
I can't decide if it's that the media has a short-term memory or a selective memory when they are talking about this and when they are perpetuating this narrative. Because, okay, so the highest point was at 1973. And, John, I think you make a really good point about the disparity in the population. That's really, really interesting. What was going on in 1973? Well, you had the Black Liberation Army. You had Black Panthers. These were movements that did actually have advocates on their side saying, kill the police. And to equate that with the Black Lives Matter movement it's just absolutely not okay, but we see it more and more, where it's like, well, you had the Black Panthers in the 1970s, and now the Black Lives Matter movement, they're not the same at all, and they're not advocating for the same things. And we're seeing peaceful movements and all these protests going on online, and you're able to be organized and affect change in a peaceful way through Twitter. You can call up CNN, you can have the spokespeople for this movement speaking out in a way where they weren't given a voice before. When Clifford Glover was killed in 1973, he was a 10-year-old in New York City. We didn't have these voices. The Black Panthers were not given a platform to speak out. Black Lives Matter have, fortunately. But I just don't know why we're seeing more and more in the media that it's the worst it's ever been. There's a war on cops. We have no idea what a war on cops actually looks like, at least not me, because I wasn't around in 1973. Yeah. Well, but it's also irresponsible to say that.
Really fast, the Fox viewers were. That's why they use the terminology of back then, is because a lot of their viewers who are 70 or 80 now were 30 or 40 back then. And
Right.
so they try to pretend that everything
It's
is
the
the
same.
same.
They can paint it. Remember that? It's happening again.
Yeah.
So I think that's certainly true of Fox, but in regard to other media outlets that attempt to be fair and balanced and claim that they have no bias, what they really do is just regurgitate the press releases that they're given. And so you have police unions and police organizations giving them these, PR materials, and they just literally regurgitate it. And so there's no fact checking. You see it happening with some of the claims that Trump makes, and that's a huge problem. So for some of them, it's not even about selective memory. It's just a lack of fact checking and doing their job.
And look, there's one more point about that that gives you a sense of what they choose to emphasize, and that's why we're doing this story, because I want you to know all the facts and then think, why are certain media choosing to emphasize one and not the other? So in Dallas and Louisiana, the cops that were shot, tragic. There are 5 guys who were shot, and they were protecting the Black Lives Matter protesters, and they were white. In Dallas, Louisiana, they were shot, and they were by 2 black guys, okay? They were pissed at the cops, and that's real, okay? Now, they were not part of any black groups, including Black Lives Matter. In fact, they were shooting into a protest that had Black Lives Matter's protesters. He didn't hit them, right? He hit the cops. But he had been kicked out. The guy in Dallas had been kicked out of black groups. They're like, no, idiot, we don't want you, and we don't want to go in that direction.
Right.
So part of what he was bitter about. So on the other hand, there was a guy in Missouri who shot 2 cops, and he said it was because of his right-wing positions, and he didn't want the government, lording over him, and he wanted to be able to hold racist signs at football games and do the Confederate flag, and he murdered those 2 cops and said that's why he's murdering them, for his political ambitions. Now, I'm not saying that you need to emphasize that right-winger more. I'm just saying that isn't it interesting that almost nobody ever talks about him and the guys who put the Gadsden flag on the cops they shot in Nevada. I think that was last year. And also said this is because of our political positions, and they believed in conspiracy theories, and they were right-wingers as well. You hear 1 or 2 stories about those guys, and you never hear about it again. Whereas Fox News is on a
Where's Blue
loop.
Lives Matter?
Right. Yeah,
those?
that's right. I mean, Blue Lives Matter. We care about the cops being shot in Dallas and in Missouri. But when you watch Fox News and regurgitated by the CNNs of the world, all they look at is the Dallas and Louisiana. As many, and a lot of cops killed in Missouri and elsewhere. They're like, no, we're not going to cover that.
Yeah.
So just think about why, right? If they cared about cops, they would cover them all, and they would cover them all equally. And then one last thing about 1973. Look, there was some real radical groups back then, and so it's different than today. So Grace's absolutely right. But most of the cops killed were not killed by radical groups. They were killed during crime, right? And crime was much, much higher in 1973 than it was today. So even though we had a lower population, we had a higher crime rate.
Yeah.
And that's why more cops died back then, the predominant reason.
Right.
And thank God, by the way, crime is lower now, and hence less cops die. You can help build independent media. We're now doing fundraising to get 4 new investigative reporting teams out there and be the watchers on the wall. We're not going to let Trump get away with anything. We're not going to let the establishment get away with anything. You help us build it. TYTnetwork.com/go. Be part of the solution.